Being together is not the only definition of love. The real art lies in finding your way back to one another. No matter the circumstance, you return. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos recently expressed exactly that in a conversation that both stunned and inspired their fans. They shared a belief that if they ever divorced, they would ultimately find their way back to each other. How could two people be so confident in a world where stress-driven separations are common, especially among high-profile marriages? Stay with me. This isn't merely a Hollywood love story. It's the story of two individuals who learned to grow, not only in love, but in the deepest corners of their hearts as time, trust, and hardship tested them. So, let's begin. Kelly once described their early days as a wild, spontaneous choice, yet it's hard to imagine that decision leading them to become one of America's most recognizable couples. In 1996, they appeared together on All My Children, young, vibrant, and carrying a chemistry the cameras couldn't fully capture. Not long after, they took off for Vegas one early morning. No grand ceremony, no paparazzi, no script, just two people absolutely certain of their love. "We didn't even tell anyone," Kelly later admitted. "We barely made it out." To others, it may have seemed reckless. To them, it felt like destiny, the kind of impulse that becomes wisdom when love feels as natural as breathing. But, as we all know, fairy tales are only the beginning. What followed were decades filled with challenges, children, distance, careers, and fame, yet the flame endured. Still, like any real relationship, cracks formed. The pressure of what Kelly once described as years of quiet misunderstandings nearly unraveled their story. On the surface, they looked flawless, beautiful, playful, constantly teasing each other on television. Behind the cameras, life was far more complicated. Mark often spent months away building his acting career. Kelly balanced her morning show while raising 3 young children. The constant separations took their toll. Years later, Kelly admitted she sometimes feared they had drifted apart. Mark confessed that early in their marriage he struggled with jealousy, not of other men, but of the relentless demands placed on Kelly by the outside world. Their perspectives clashed, arguments surfaced. At times, they hovered on opposite sides of the divide, but instead of walking away, they chose to walk through it together. "There were years when we didn't even like each other very much," Kelly once said, "but we always loved each other." It's an unusual admission, one that speaks not of perfection, but of resilience. Even more compelling is how that perseverance led them to a realization they now see as the glue that binds them for life. In a recent interview reflecting on nearly 3 decades of marriage, the couple discussed the lessons they've learned. When asked what would happen if they ever divorced, Kelly answered without hesitation they would find their way back to each other. Mark simply nodded. No jokes, no pause, just with quiet conviction. After everything they've built, a family, a shared history, an unbreakable bond, they believe life itself would reunite them, even if they ever drifted apart. Kelly said it beautifully. "Our hearts know each other too well. We've run out of alternatives." It wasn't a boast, it was a truth shaped by time. Through every version of themselves, they discovered that love rooted in friendship always circles back home. But knowing someone's soul, that's the mystery, and neither time nor the pressures of celebrity can crush that kind of connection. When asked how they've remained strong, Kelly smiled. "We grew up together, and we grew separately," she said. They didn't cling to fixed versions of one another. They evolved again and again and kept choosing each other every step of the way. Mark once compared marriage to dancing. You lose your rhythm, you find it again. Sometimes you step on each other's toes, but you learn to laugh, forgive faster, and realize that endurance matters more than perfection. Anyone who has spent a lifetime beside another person will recognize that truth. Love isn't always fireworks. Even the strongest bonds are tested. They faced moments that could have broken them, and what saved them turned out to be the most unexpected part of their story. Mark once revealed that extended separations caused by filming and travel nearly pushed them apart. "Parallel lives start to form," he said.
You lose track of the small details. You have to remember to check in. On and off screen, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have long been admired for their closeness and chemistry. Married for over 25 years, they've won fans not just through their careers, but through their visible devotion to one another. Still, their recent admissions surprised many. If they ever divorced, they believe they would reunite. To those who see them as the ultimate entertainment power couple, the statement was unexpected. Together, they've built a life, raised 3 children, and shared countless joyful moments online. But in this honest conversation, they revealed the foundation of their marriage and the secret to its longevity. Their love is built on humor and trust. Both steeped in entertainment, their ability to laugh through life's challenges has been essential. Kelly's sharp wit pairs seamlessly with Mark's easygoing nature. Whether on Live with Kelly and Mark or in interviews, their playful banter and genuine laughter are unmistakable. They often share behind-the-scenes glimpses of their life, reminding fans why they're seen as a rare Hollywood success story. But what stood out most in their recent discussion was their openness, their willingness to speak candidly about divorce without fear or defensiveness. Rather than dismissing the idea, they addressed it thoughtfully. Mark explained that if they ever went their separate ways, he had no doubt they'd reunite eventually. "You can't just quit someone you've been married to for over 25 years, he said. Kelly agreed. Too much love, too much shared history.
Their intention wasn't to romanticize marriage, but to acknowledge a bond deeper than circumstance. Their honesty revealed maturity, confidence, and faith in what they've built together. Love, to them, is surviving difficult seasons and still finding laughter along the way. They also emphasized friendship as the cornerstone of their relationship. Beyond being spouses, they are best friends and each other's strongest supporters. Whether backing Mark's acting career or standing side by side on Live, their chemistry is undeniable. Their ability to uplift one another, even in the hardest moments, defines their partnership. After more than 2 decades together, they credit their success to continual growth. "We've changed," Kelly said, "but we've changed together." They understand that relationships evolve. People change. Life shifts. What matters is embracing that evolution while protecting the bond at its core. Honest communication has been essential, both publicly and privately. They speak openly, face difficult conversations, and argue without fear of judgment. Kelly has often mentioned their non-negotiables, the principles that protect respect and harmony. Their commitment to transparency has allowed their partnership to endure. Fans responded with admiration to their revelation. Social media filled with praise for their honesty and depth. One fan wrote, "I want this kind of love, real, raw, and grounded." Their story reminds us that love isn't about perfection, it's about connection, growth, and choosing each other again and again. Even in the face of separation, their belief in their bond remains unshaken. In the end, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have redefined what lasting love looks like: strong, joyful, resilient, and above all, real.